Growing up as Victoria Hamilton's daughter wasn't a life. It was a performance. Every move I made, every word I spoke, was meticulously judged against the Hamilton legacy. My mother, Victoria, ruled with an iron smile, always composed, always calculating. But it was my father, Richard Hamilton, the steely CEO of Hamilton Industries, who orchestrated my entire life before I had even learned to walk. "Charlotte, darling," he would say with a crisp nod, adjusting the lapels of his perfectly tailored Brioni suit, "a Hamilton never settles for second best." Our 28-room mansion in Beverly Hills stood as a monument to that mantra, an opulent fortress of marble, chandeliers, and silent staff. To outsiders it symbolized success. To me it was a golden prison. Every inch screamed wealth, power, and expectation, but never warmth, never freedom. By the time I turned 25, I had followed my father's carefully scripted path to perfection. Harvard Business School. Junior executive at Hamilton Industries. Engaged to Bradley Winchester III, heir to Winchester Technologies and my father's hand-picked future son-in-law? It was all planned, all polished, all suffocating. There was just one problem. I had fallen desperately, irrevocably in love, with someone my family would never accept. I met James Mitchell on a rainy Tuesday morning that started like any other. My Ferrari had broken down en route to a board meeting, and I was panicking, not just about being late, but about the inevitable scrutiny. Then he arrived, James, in a battered tow truck, wearing worn jeans and a lopsided grin. "Looks like your timing belt's shot," he said, wiping his hands on a rag tucked in his back pocket. "I can fix it, but it'll take a few hours." Something about his tone, direct but respectful, disarmed me. He didn't talk down to me. He explained the problem like I mattered. That day, instead of calling a luxury rideshare, I agreed to wait at his modest garage. Over cheap vending machine coffee and the sound of rain, I learned more about real life and myself than I had in years. James wasn't just a mechanic. He'd put himself through engineering school and graduated top of his class. He turned down high-paying corporate offers because he preferred building things with his hands. "Life's too short to waste it doing something just because it looks good on paper," he said, his eyes kind and unwavering. That sentence struck me like lightning. It was everything I had never dared to say out loud. One coffee turned into more. Then came dinner. Then quiet escapes, secret kisses, and moments that felt more real than anything in my polished, calculated world. With James I was just Charlotte, not Charlotte Hamilton, heir to a corporate empire. We didn't dine at Michelin-starred restaurants. We had picnics on the beach. We danced in the rain. And I laughed. Deep belly laughs I hadn't heard from myself since childhood. For 6 months I lived a double life. By day, society darling, dutiful daughter, and obedient fiancé. By night, a woman in love, carving out stolen hours of freedom. But the illusion couldn't last. The breaking point came during a charity gala hosted at our mansion. My mother glided between guests in a couture gown, while my father talked business mergers with Bradley like I was an accessory to be negotiated. At one point, my mother raised her glass and announced loudly, "Charlotte will be taking over East Coast operations after the wedding. The Hamilton-Winchester merger will be unstoppable." I felt like I couldn't breathe. I slipped away to the garden, trembling, and called James. "I can't do this anymore," I whispered, tears spilling down my cheeks. "I can't marry Bradley. I can't be what they want me to be." There was a pause. Then James spoke with quiet conviction. "Then don't be. Be who you are, Charlotte. That's the woman I fell in love with." That night I made a choice. The next morning I walked into my father's study, my heart racing. "Daddy, I need to tell you something. I can't marry Bradley. I'm in love with someone else." The silence before his reaction was volcanic. "A mechanic," he exploded, slamming his fist on the desk. / my daughter, / a Hamilton with a grease monkey? "He's an engineer," I said, forcing my voice not to shake. "He's brilliant. If you would just meet him." "Absolutely not," he barked. You marry Bradley or you lose everything. Your trust fund, your job at the company, your name. Do you understand me? I stood tall, steel in my spine. Crystal clear. And then I walked away. From the mansion, from the legacy, from the people who had never seen me as anything but an asset. James tried to talk me out of it. You're giving up your whole life for me, he said, worry etched on his face. I'm not giving anything up, I told him. I'm finally claiming it. Reality hit hard and fast. I moved into his modest apartment and took an entry-level consulting job. My parents retaliated with every weapon they had, freezing accounts, pulling strings to sabotage my new job, even publicly denouncing me in business circles. But James and I grew stronger through every storm. We planned a simple wedding in a public park. No designer gown, no guest list of billionaires. Just us, love, and a few loyal friends. That morning, I received a text from my mother. We will be attending. One last chance to fix this mistake. I showed James the message. He gave my hand a squeeze. It's your call, love. It came. They stood at the back, judging. During the reception, just a casual barbecue, my mother leaned in. It's not too late. Bradley would still take you back. Think about your future. My father cut in. Stay with him, and you'll never see a cent of your inheritance. Is that what you want? To live like this? In poverty? I looked across the lawn at James, smiling in a rental suit, making our friends laugh with his quiet charm. Then I looked at my parents, polished, proud, and so utterly empty. What I want, I said clearly, is to be happy. James makes me happy. If that's not enough for you, then maybe I don't need your money. Or you. My father's face twisted with rage. You're no daughter of mine. He turned. My mother hesitated, then followed. James came to my side, wrapping an arm around my waist. You okay? I leaned into him, my heart light. Never better. That was 6 months ago. We've built a quiet, meaningful life. James still runs his garage, but he also attends night classes, working toward a master's in sustainable engineering. I've earned new clients, growing my career without my father's name behind me. We budget, save, we laugh, we're happy. But James was keeping a secret, one that would change everything again. Started one ordinary Friday. I came home early, Thai food in hand, hoping to surprise him. But the apartment was empty. A note lay on the counter. Working late at the garage. Love you. Odd but not alarming, until I realized his truck wasn't at the shop. And he wasn't answering his phone. Then came the message. Mrs. Mitchell, please come to 1875 Highland Avenue. It's about your husband. My pulse thundered. The address. In the industrial district. I drove through the dusk, heart pounding. The GPS led me to a sleek high-rise. A uniformed guard nodded. Executive elevator. Top floor. Top floor. Executive. The elevator doors opened to a gleaming suite with floor-to-ceiling glass. And there, standing at a polished desk, was James. But not the James the first knew. He turned, wearing a tailored suit and the most familiar smile I'd ever seen. Charlie, he said gently. I think it's time I told you everything. Before he could speak again, the office doors flew open, and in stormed my parents with Bradley close behind. What is the meaning of this? My father bellowed. What are you doing in the CEO's office, you mechanic? James adjusted his cufflinks and stepped forward. Actually, Mr. Hamilton, I am the CEO, James Mitchell, founder and chief executive officer of Mitchell Innovations. The room froze. My mother paled. Bradley gawked. My father speechless. James took my hand. I started with one garage. Then I built a chain. Now, Mitchell Innovations develops cutting-edge battery tech for electric vehicles. Those late nights. We were finalizing our prototype. I kept it from you because I needed to know that you loved me, not my company, not my wealth. Just me. I was stunned, shaken, but then smiled. 'Cause I had chosen him. Not for his title. Not for his fortune. But for the way he made me feel seen. loved, free.